Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and anything that I use today you can purchase from Stampin' Up through me at the address that's linked below and at the top of the screen. My project today I'm excited about. I just love how it came out. This I'm going to call a stacked box, but it's connected, it's not loose, and inside are 2 packets of hot cocoa, just regular Swiss Miss. The regular packets will fit in here. The Nestle ones are about the same too. And in the front, I have 4 of the little peppermint sticks. These are the ones that melt in your mouth, kind of. So when you stir them in the cocoa, they'll go right into the cocoa. I just love how it came out. The actual full box measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then with both boxes on it, it's about 1 1/4, maybe 1 1/2. And I wanted to show you now the Swiss Miss packets are the regular. I'm using Holly Jolly Wishes, which is retiring, still available as of this time that I made the video. These are the sweet, it's called Bob's Sweet Stripe Soft Peppermint Candy Sticks. I've seen them in different names, and I've seen them at Target, Walmart, Dollar Tree, a lot of different places. So we're going to be using 4 of them for each and 2 packets of cocoa. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put a gift card inside here for my daughter. With the 2, I'm going to make one for my daughter and one for my son. So, all right. So now what we need. Oh, please subscribe. If you're not subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. All right. Now we need to make 2 little boxes, and then we just one larger box and 1 smaller box, and we just attach it. The smaller one doesn't have a top because we can just slip these in and out. But they're not difficult boxes at all. They're pretty basic boxes. All right, so we need 2 pieces of real red cardstock. One that is 9 by 6 3/4, and one that is 6 by 4. Alrighty. And this is the Gingerbread and Peppermint DSP here. All right, we need 1 piece for the big box that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. 1 piece that is 1/2 by 3 1/4, and 2 pieces that are 1/2 by 4 1/2. And of course, all of this will be on my blog that is linked below. Okay, for the little box, we need 1 piece of DSP, same gingerbread and peppermint pack, that's 2 by 3 1/4. We need a piece of basic white to stamp the sentiment. We need a circle. We're going to be using 3 circles, 1 for the sentiment and these 2 from the layering circle dies. We need an old olive circle that is 2 1/8, and the scallop that's a little bigger at 2 1/4. And the one that we're going to cut the sentiment out is about 1 7/8. Alrighty, and this is red foil paper, obviously. Okay, it's retiring, but it's still available. It's on sale, I believe, too. And it comes with a sheet of red and a sheet of green. Alright, so let's start with, we're going to score, I'm going to call this piece A, okay? And piece A is the one that is 9 by 6 3/4. And we're going to start on the 9-inch side. And we're going to score at 1/2, 4, 4 3/4, and 8 1/4. Okay, then we're going to turn it a 1/4 turn to the 6 3/4 side, and we're going to score at 3/4, at 5 1/2, and at 6 1/4. Okay, and that's piece A. Now piece B, which is 6 by 4, and we're going to score on the 6-inch side first, and it's going to be at 1/2, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, and 5 1/2. And we're going to turn it to the 4-inch side, and we're just going to score at 1/2. Okay, and all of these measurements will also be linked on my blog below. All right, now I'm just going to fold and burnish everything. Okay. All right, so let's start with the larger piece, which is piece A. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of these, the square, this rectangle, and this rectangle. These two rectangles, this rectangle and this one. All right, it's not too difficult at all. All right, let me get rid of this, and we're going to start on the lower left-hand side. There's two skinny rectangles, one on the left-hand side and one at the top. Okay, so we're going to start on the left-hand side, and we're going to get rid of this lower rectangle here, and then we're going to cut a little tiny wedge into the piece that's above it. Okay, then we're going to go to the other side of this rectangle, cut it straight, skip the square, and cut the other side of this other rectangle straight. And then we're just going to wedge a little bit out of each side of the square. Okay, move to the other side of this rectangle, cut it straight, and then wedge, oops, a little bit off of each side of the square. Okay, so that's what we did there. Now we're going to turn it 180 so that the skinny rectangles are on the bottom and the right hand side. We're going to start over here on the left, and we have a square and a rectangle. We're going to go over to the first score line and cut to the second score line. We're going to get rid of this rectangle on the top and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, this here is going to be our flap, these two pieces. So we're going to leave them alone and cut the other side of them straight. Okay, move to the other side of these two. There's a square and a rectangle, and cut it straight. We're going to get rid of the rectangle that's on the top and then wedge out of each side of the square. Okay, now we're going to get rid of everything else. There's two rectangles here and a rectangle and a little square. All right, so we're just going to go down to the second score line on the side and cut it straight across up to this square that we just wedged. All right. And that's that. Okay, and then we have to go to this side that does not have the flap, and we're going to just use a small circle punch to take a little half moon out of the top of that. Okay, and then we're going to round the corners of both sides of the flap, and I'm going to use the detail trio punch. Okay, so this is what piece A should look like after you're done scoring it, and cutting the circle and rounding the corners. Now let's put this box together while we're working with it. All right, the skinny rectangle that's next to the half moon we cut out is where we're going to put our tear and tape close to the score line. Okay, just rub it down. Take your pick tool and get the backing off. Okay, flip it over, flip the side with the tape over, and then flip the other side to meet it. Then you're going to close your box. Okay, so we know this is the back, so we're going to put the sides down and the back, and this is where we have to put the rest of our tear and tape here, and this time we're going to put it close to the edge. Okay, and then just Okay, and that's our first box. All right, now we're going to make our second box here. All right, so what we want is the skinny rectangles at the bottom and both sides, but nothing on the top. Okay, so that it goes down, around, and up. All right, and this is what we want to do. Okay, so we're just going to cut the tabs out, get rid of this, and then wedge a little on the top and right here. And that's it. All right, so we're going to start on the left-hand side, and this little square here we're going to cut next to it to the first score line, and then wedge a little bit out of each side. Move to the other side of this rectangle, cut to the first score line, skip this square, and cut to the first score line on the side of this long rectangle. And we're just going to wedge a little piece out of each side of the square. Okay, now this square here we're going to get rid of at the end, and then wedge just a little bit up into this rectangle here, go to the top, and wedge a little bit there. Okay, so now this is what part B should look like after you've scored it and cut it. Okay, now we need our tear and tape, and we're going to put a piece on the side that has the wedges in the top and the bottom of it. I'm going to put it close to the score line. I'm going to take the backing off, flip it over, flip this side down, and flip the other side over to meet it. Now it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but we can make it. Okay, now this is our back. We're going to put the sides in the back, and this is our last piece of tear and tape right here, right at the edge if you can get it there. Okay, and then stand it up and push it down, and that's our second box. All right, now for the DSP on both of them. All right, for the larger box A, we have a piece of the Gingerbread and Peppermint DSP. I need my notes. That is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and we're going to put that on the front of our box. You could put one on the back if you want, but this, you'd need 2 separate 6 by 6 sheets since this is only 6 by 6 DSP, so I only put one on the front. Okay. And then we have a piece that is 1/2 by 3 1/4, and that's for the top. And then 2 pieces that are 1/2 by 4 1/2, and they're going to go on the bottom. Oh, is that right? Yeah, that's right. And all of these will be linked, will be on my blog, and it's linked below. Okay. And then just find the back of your little box, which is box B, and we're going to put a piece of the same type of DSP, and this one is 2 by 3 1/4. And these are really thin on the sides, so I didn't put any on the sides of this. Okay. Now let's get our 2 packets of Swiss Miss, and we're going to put these in here. And they fit in there very nicely. And a gift card would slip in there great with them. This one should be good now. There we go. Okay. Now, for our peppermint candies, I'm just using a small cello bag, but if you don't have small cello bags, you could use our goodie bags and just fold them up, cut them, I'm just going to put 4 in here. Okay. And I'm just going to use cello tape to make them fit because this bag doesn't even fit them right. Okay, and I'll just take some cello tape because the cello tape, but you could use your regular, it says invisible tape, but I feel like the cello tape is more invisible to me. And there you go. Fits perfectly after you do that. All right, and then these are going to slip right in the top, just like that. All right, now we're going to glue this small box. We're going to center it, and it's going to be about an eighth of an inch up from the end of the DSP. All right, so I'm just going to put some glue. I'm going to make sure that I get, whoops, not on the side. Goodness gracious. Get a good amount of glue on, not thick, but on a lot of the spots. All right. And then we're going to just put it down in the middle and about an eighth of an inch up. And it's better if you have your hot cocoa in there because you can put a little pressure, your hot cocoa and your sticks, as it helps you push it down. All right, and while that's drying, you can get about 2 out of these bags because there was actually 11 sticks in here. You would think you would get 12, but only 11, and one of them was broken. But so you can average about 2, or you can put only 3 in there if you want. Okay, and just leave the bag a little bit wider so that it doesn't wiggle too much. All right, so let's let that dry, and we're going to do some stamping. So we need our piece of basic white. We need the Jingle All the Way from Holly Jolly Wishes and Real Red ink. And I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle here. Great. Okay, and then I'm going to take, this is about a 1 7/8 inch. Yeah, 1 7/8 inch circle from the Layering Circle dies. I'm just going to tape this down and cut it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, there's our circle. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to attach this circle to the old olive that is 2 1/8. And I'm going to do that with liquid glue. Okay, and then I'm going to put it onto the scallop circle that is from our red foil paper. Okay, and then I'm going to get some dimensionals, and actually let's let that dry first. Okay, now we need our Gold Shimmer Ribbon along with our Real Red Sheer Ribbon. The Real Red Sheer Ribbon is retiring, the Gold Shimmer is carrying over. Okay, and I'm going to wrap it around the entire box. And we're going to have it tied just below the top of our small box, okay? So I'm going to take the ribbons and I'm just going to tie them together for now. Just move it up. You can kind of scooch it up too after you're finished. All right, and I'm going to take the ribbon that is the low one and make the loop with that, and then go up and over with the other one, and then tie my bow, and that's how it gets with the both tails here instead of one sticking up this way. And then I'm just going to separate the red and the gold, just like that. just going to clip them. All right, and then I'm just going to separate on the side so that you can see both ribbons. I'm just going to pull them apart so that they're right next to each other. And that looks really pretty on the sides when you lay it down. Okay, so we're done with the ribbons. And now I'm just going to take my sentiment and I'm just going to put some dimensionals on it. And I'm going to center it on the middle of this box here. Okay, there we go. And then for the final touch, I'm going to get some of my gilded gems, and I'm going to use the sticky side of my take your pick tool. And I'm going to put 2 of the medium-sized ones, one up there, one down here, and then one of the smaller ones. Oops, I'm losing it. One of the smaller ones over there. And that's it. And this is a project, I really just love it. I think they came out so cute, and they're perfect for putting a little cash or a gift card, or just to give as a gift for a teacher or for a coworker or just someone that stops by, a neighbor. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you and all of the kind comments I get, and I got a lovely donation from a lovely woman. I thank you so much. It keeps me getting more stamps to show to you guys, and I appreciate that so much. She's a demonstrator herself, so I'm just so grateful. Thank you very much. Okay, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.